Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everyone. This is Charles with Exodus Logistics Learning Center, um, Dispatcher 101 training for beginners, Freight Broker 101 training for beginners. Um, Good evening, everyone. Uh, Hope everyone's having a good holiday season and all is well with you and yours, you and your family. Everyone's healthy, no issues. Just like to address, I just came from outside, so I'm going to have my hat on. I'm sorry. Just wanted to do this PSA announcement, this public service announcement. But wanted to go over some things because recently I came in and checked my email today, and I tried to reach out to the person um, um, for the Dispatcher 101 training. Um, Someone had, I guess, put a dispute in with PayPal as to saying that they did not get the service from Dispatcher 101 training for beginners. And they filed, I guess, a dispute with PayPal. So I responded to that dispute, uh, attempted to reach out to the person for the sake of privacy, and I'll just leave the names anonymous, of course. But tried to see what it was that they were not satisfied with, or what service that they did not receive when they enrolled into the uh, Dispatching 101 training for beginners training platform. Coincidentally, this person enrolled at the military discount as well, $299 as opposed to the $399 price. But so what I do is when I get, and this is the second time, I guess in about 6 months, I guess it's happened as far as someone filing a claim with PayPal saying that they did not receive service when they ordered and paid for the service online to initially enroll into Dispatcher 101 training for beginners, and then it didn't even get to the point of them starting to pay their monthly subscription, because once you enroll into Dispatcher 101, exactly 1 month after that date that you enroll, the monthly subscription kicks in, $39.99. And coincidentally, I'm probably going to be lowering that to make it even more affordable, to provide even more value to you guys. So give you more value for less price. And it's also a shame that this person had uh, did a claim, I guess, or dispute with PayPal, because um, we are about to add some valuable resources and pieces to the training. So while we are disputing with this individual, uh, their access to the back office tools and resources will be suspended until everything is resolved, either in their favor or my favor. That's just the process. Nothing against the person; they have every right to dispute the service that I rendered to them if they were not satisfied with it. But let me go over briefly what it is that you get and what happens when you sign up and enroll in Dispatcher 101 training for beginners. So the initial enrollment, and if you see my screen, when you enroll, um, you pay the initial, whether you come in on the military discount of $299, that's a one-time payment. Um, Whether you come in at the regular price of $399, a single member payment, and the 2-for-1 Dispatcher 101 special, two people could join for $599. So that's a $200 savings. So if two people join for the price of one. But in either case, in any of those three cases, when you enroll, the first thing that happens is you'll get an email. And let me, before I even do that, let me explain um, what do you get when you enroll. You get the initial enrollment covers you having the ability to have access to the back office tools and resources. Those tools and resources include all the forms and documents you're going to need to be successful as a dispatcher, access to several load boards, some of the better paying load boards, access to 3 ebooks, um, access to one glossary, as well as other tools and resources. In addition to that, you also get um, live trainings with me 2 days a week, Wednesday evenings, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this value, this either $2.99, $3.99, or $5.99, 2-for-1, you that's a one-time enrollment to get you in, and to stay on the platform is ongoing. You can stay on for as long as you want, as long as you maintain um, the monthly subscription. Right now, as it stands, it's $39.99. So if you, after you enroll and then 1 month after that, you start to pay your monthly subscription, you can maintain access to these resources ongoing, even as we add more value to the platform. So even that in and of itself is the value in that right there. As we're adding more value to the platform, you just maintain your subscription and you can continually access, get all the trainings you need. Even if you maintain, let's say you don't need any basic training and you maintain your subscription, you can actually use the platform as a point of reference to come back and ask some basic level questions. Or if you're stuck in your dispatching path, like you may be stuck with carriers, or you may be stuck with dealing with and conversating with the brokers, negotiating the rates, getting shippers. Wherever you're stuck in your process of being a dispatcher, you can use this platform as a reference because you are an ongoing student once you enroll initially. So that is the benefit and the value. I've compared and contrasted other uh, dispatcher training platforms, and starting out, I mean, I've seen 600, 700, even 1,500 for a weekend training, maybe a week or a month training. I'm offering $3.99, the single member initial price, and it's ongoing. There is no, it's unlimited basically. There's no 1 month, 1 week, 1 year. You stay in as long as you possibly need the training. And the purpose of an online training, in my opinion, is to give you all the tools and resources based off of my experience that you would need to make you um, a good dispatcher. So I even call, you see me, for those of you who know and see me do it, I've called carriers live on the trainings, spoke to brokers live on the trainings to give you an idea of what you should say and how you should say it. So I'm providing you all the value, all the resources you need. Now it's ultimately up to you as the individual to put all these pieces together and into your particular business, into your particular format of your business. So, and that's the goal of the Dispatcher 101. It is a one-on-one training for beginners. So this is the foundational platform for those who are starting out and who want to be independent freight dispatchers. So when you enroll, this particular area here on the website, you enroll, which is on this page here. Then next, you'll be able to access the back office login where you set up with an email and password. Once you send that in, you'll sign in with that, or if you're new to the site, then you'll sign up. So you'll provide an email and a password, and typically enrollees will provide the same email for the back office access that they provided when they enrolled, the email that they used to pay through PayPal or however they paid. So it's just easier that way. They use the same one. So once you do that, you enroll, then you sign up, I should say. Then I get an alert in my back office portal, and then I go in and grant access to that newly person. But prior to that, you'll receive an email instructing you what to do next. So once you enroll, you hit submit, you pay that initial payment, you'll receive an email from Exodus Logistics Learning Center instructing you of the next steps. And the first step is setting up your back office email and password. So once that is done, you'll go in and log in. Then you have to, and coincidentally, there is even a YouTube video on the Welcome to the Back Office Login and Setup page, actually showing you how to do that. So after you get past that point, we also have a chat. I'm building up on the chat group as well, the online chat within our portal. We have a chat page, and we can go in here and conversate internally as opposed to being on Facebook. But skipping over the chat for now, the orientation page is next. So once you do your back office login, you have access with that email and password from in other words, you only need to log in once and you'll have access from everything all the way down to the end once you get past the back office login and setup. So once you get back office site member approval, you'll be able to access everything else. So this is the area that's the back office tools and resources. So again, next is the orientation page. So in here is also a YouTube video speaking on this particular page, the orientation page. Also to the right, there is a far right column of all the downloads of the ebooks. So these are PDF downloads. How much money you need to move your truck, level 2, dispatcher 101, basic terms glossary, and the the logins for the load boards that we have. And I'm probably going to need to update that. And then also over here we have owner operator best practices. So there's just tools and resources that you can use as a beginner level person who is interested in being a freight dispatcher. So the next page I'm working on is business setup, where I actually we talk about how to structure your particular dispatcher business, from what legal structure you need it to be under, which is either sole proprietorship, LLC, partnership, corporation, however you want to structure that. And that's an individual decision based off of your business processes. And then we have the modules. So from my experience, and I can only speak for me and what I've been doing when I dispatched, the process, and from what I've learned from previous platforms that I was involved in, the process is, as far as dispatching, you want to get a carrier under an agreement, which is under the carrier acquisition module 1. Then you want to be able to find them a load board based off of that profile that the carrier provided for you. And then you want to book that load, and then you want to invoice the carrier. And that's the high level steps in that process. So in module 1, which is carrier acquisition, basically you get a carrier under an agreement. I provide a template of what the dispatcher agreement could look like. You can change that up and fix it up how to tailor suit your particular dispatching business. And then I provide a template of what a carrier profile should look like. And you can fix that up and tailor it for your particular business as well. The profile is the carrier's way of describing to you how they want to run their loads, how much money they want, how much weight they want to carry, what commodity or what freight they want to carry, how far they want to go, things of that nature, what equipment type they have. So you take that profile and then you just plug that into the load board, which is module 2. We train on that as well, of finding a load for them based off of their profile. A load board is an area online where it's software online where you can go in where brokers and shippers post their loads for sale, and carriers, owner operators, truck drivers, they go up there and find a specific load for the area that they're currently in and they're trying to get to, origin and destination, for a fee. So, and all that's in the module. We train on that. There's a bunch of data in there and content. And then the third module, booking the load, is where once you find a load on the load board, then obviously you're going to call that broker or that shipper, and you're going to start a dialogue there. You're going to talk about the load, how much it's paying, where it's going, how many stops, how many pickups, how many stops, can you get more money out of it, things like that. And then there's a process that the broker or shipper goes through to get your particular carrier with whom you have a dispatcher agreement with set up with their brokerage. So you go through that process of doing the broker carrier agreement and the rate confirmation. And this is all high level. We go in more detail and very granular as we go through the process. So, and then invoicing the carrier, where you, after the carrier delivers and they get their delivery receipt or their BOL or their bill of lading, then you can invoice your carrier for the gross amount of that load. For example, if your carrier had a load that paid gross $3,000 and your dispatcher percentage was, let's say, 10%. Let's just make the numbers nice and easy. 10% of 3,000 is 300, and that's what you will invoice your carrier for your service of providing them that load at that point in time. And then next we have, so these are the main modules here. We have the forms and documents. Every form and document that is possibly needed to begin as a beginner dispatcher agreement and profile. We have a load details cheat sheet, and that's for when you're on the load board. Sometimes brokers and shippers don't post enough information for you as a dispatcher to share with your carrier so that your carrier can make an informed decision. Well, the purpose of the cheat sheet is to kind of fill in all the blanks of the load board of what the broker or shipper did not post on that load. Depending on the equipment type of your carrier, you ask certain types of questions to the broker so you can relay that information or that data back to the carrier so they can make a more informed decision as to whether they can take that load or not. Because you never know, your carrier could be under a load and this new load that you may have found for them picks up at a certain time, but there may be an overlap between that time that your carrier delivers the load that they're currently under and the time that they have to pick this load up. But you may not know that if the information on the load board is blank and you did not ask those questions based off of the load details cheat sheet. Then we have some information about brokers who work with new MC carriers and other information on 3 equipment type carrier profiles. These are templates. And then what the carrier packet is, what the rate confirmation is, and then the other documents that you need. And these 4 documents here are, at least the first 3, are the common documents that are always asked for by brokers when they try to get carriers, especially new carriers, set up with their brokerage so they can run that load. If they're already set up, say for example you have a carrier under a dispatch agreement and you call a well-known brokerage to book a load, your carrier may have already been set up with that brokerage prior to them getting under a dispatcher agreement with you. So you may not have to go through this process or this process as far as getting the carrier packet filled out. The only thing you may have to worry about now is the rate confirmation. So, and that you'll learn that along the way. Tools and resources as well. We have additional tools and resources in here: dispatcher manuals, CFR Title 49 transportation, owner-operator best practices, trend lines, hot map. I mean, we have a ton of content, which is why I do not understand when someone does a dispute or a claim saying that there was no service provided or they didn't get what they had paid for. In my opinion, I think I'm giving more than what I'm actually charging for the service, in addition to my time. Also, too, training videos. Every training that I do on Wednesdays evenings at 6 p.m. and Sunday mornings at 11 a.m., both Eastern Standard Time, are recorded, and then they're put in the training videos section in the back office, in which the person who enrolls will have access to once they get approved through the website's back office training portal. And you can go back and review the data, the information in video recorded format. And they're grouped in months. If you notice, November training videos, months and dates. So if you click the arrows, you'll go through the dates. And you go to the next month. The reason why it starts with November, because that's the time last year that I started doing training videos and putting them onto the website. So that's the reason why I started with November. And then December, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea there. And then I go into more detail about the ebook, the one-on-one dispatcher ebook explained, as well as the one-on-one dispatcher glossary broken down. So this area right here is the dispatcher one-on-one training for beginners back office portal area. This area here is the freight broker one-on-one back office portal area. So this doesn't apply to dispatchers, but this one does. So I just wanted to be clear of what a person gets when they pay the initial, either the $2.99 military discount or the $3.99 single member fee, or the 2-for-1 $5.99 um, 2-for-1 special. That's the initial payment to get you into the platform initially, and then beginning 1 month after that initial enrollment date. This is a one-time payment. These are one-time payments. But beginning 1 month after the person enrolls from the date of that payment, the monthly subscription kicks in. And right now it's $39.99 a month. It will be reduced. The first of the year, I may cut that in half to like $19.99 because I want to make it even more affordable. Um, at the same time, providing more value, so there won't be an excuse. And I'm not claiming that this person is saying that there's an excuse, but I want to provide as much service, content, and material as possible, so no one can possibly say that there was no value for the price that was charged for the service, especially in the live calls where I give everyone an opportunity to ask questions. We go into details. I actually call carriers live, call brokers live, have a conversation and dialogue, and you get to hear the feedback from the other side. So you're the dispatcher, you hear the feedback from the carrier side. So when you work up enough courage yourself to want to call carriers, you'll know what to say and what lingo to use. Then on the same token, when you hear me talk to brokers and the dialogue between the dispatcher and the broker. So when you work up enough courage, you can talk to the broker using the same techniques and strategies that you've heard me say, or you can apply your own. As long as the process is effective for you, you should be able to book the load. I go over the load boards in grave details. We give examples, talk about strategies, talk about plotting, um, hot markets, spot markets, contracted rates, spot rates, different strategies to keep the carriers running. So I'm just kind of perplexed as to why someone would even file a claim, I guess, or put a dispute in, I should say, with PayPal, claiming that there was no service provided when that's pretty much all I do. So, but I just want to put this recording out to lay to rest that this is the service that is provided. Apologize if that person did not fully receive that service, but the purpose of an online training, or I should say the purpose of my online training, is to provide all the tools and resources that a person would need to implement in their business, which is dispatching in this case, to be a dispatcher. Now it's up to that person to take all these tools and resources and the trainings, whether it's live or online with the content, and apply it to their business and then go from there. I can't be there all the time. I can't really hold anyone's hand, but I can do as much as I possibly can, especially in the live trainings when I actually call people. I've actually called other dispatchers, carriers, or book loads for other dispatchers who were struggling, who had carriers under a dispatcher agreement, but were struggling trying to find loads. So we went through that process. So I'm I make myself as readily available as possible. We're not having training right now because of the holiday season and everyone's with their families, which is understandable. I'll probably be making an announcement around the first of the year, that Wednesday or that following Sunday, where the trainings will kick back in. But um, just wanted to do this little PSA, this little public service announcement, announcing that. Um, well, kind of laying to rest, I guess, in other words, the services that are provided when someone enrolls into dispatcher one-on-one training for beginners. So if for those of you who think that there is no service involved in this or no content, this is what you will receive. You will receive the back office access to the tools and resources, the training videos, the ebooks, the 3 ebooks, the glossary, all the tools and resources. um, all this is for a fraction of what if you compare prices to other dispatcher trainings, then you'll be able to discover that this is pretty affordable and within reason of what you're looking for as far as becoming a freight dispatcher. Um, so I just want to continue to add value. And again, while I'm going through this I guess dispute with PayPal and the person who filed the claim, what have you, um, that person's access will be suspended temporarily because we need to make sure that everything gets resolved through the proper channels. But and that's just the process. But I just wanted to make an announcement that this is what all you receive. Um, oh, in addition to we have access to the Facebook chat groups, not chat groups, the Facebook groups, Dispatcher 101, as well as how much money you need to move your truck, and the Exodus Logistics Learning Center. Those are the Facebook groups. So there's a lot of content and material that's available. So again, I'm just kind of floored and shocked by the claim that there is no service, nothing was received, or the service was not what it should have been. So I'm just trying to wonder what should the service have been in relation to what the purpose of the online Dispatcher 101 training platform um, is supposed to be. In my estimation, it is a platform that provides tools and resources for those who have enrolled into it to be able to effectively apply to their business in order to dispatch um, owner operators and trucks for their business with whom they have under a dispatcher agreement and profile. So any questions, you can reach out to me at 757-515-1684 or through the email at Exodus Logistics LLC at yahoo.com. Again, enjoy your holidays, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the beginning of the year, where we will have some new surprises for the platform as well. So thank you.